chat with you since Lost in the Country. So
Oh, yay.
I'm so glad this finally worked out. You're so busy, and you mentioned that you have to hustle, right? You have to get out there. You have to work the streets, work the radio stations, work the stages, right? You gotta work your ass off in this business, especially in Texas, to get some notice, right?
That's right. You got to do all the things, and then social media is like a whole other element as
Sure.
well. Yeah, I'm like I've been at this for a long time, and when I first got into the scene, I'm like it was a while ago. I got into music pretty young. I think like Facebook was kind of emerging, and that was kind of like a newer thing. And I remember like sharing stuff like about my shows and things coming up, and that was just kind of like, oh, okay, this is new. Now it's a whole different ball game. So I'm like, that's a whole other animal as well, and a part of your career.
Yeah, and I mean, part of that hard work, the result of that is being the current 2025 New Female Vocalist of the Year through the TRRRs. And if you guys are from outside of Texas, we do have obviously a lot of viewers all over the world. The TRRRs are the CMAs, the ACMs, the Grammys of Texas country music, in my opinion. And
Right.
so, New Female Vocalist is there's a lot of girls out there vying for that, and that's a big accomplishment.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it was an honor. I didn't I've been grinding, and you don't expect any type of like notoriety or awards. At least I don't think you should, but I was like, "Oh, I'm not going to win it. I'm excited to get to perform at the awards." And that was amazing to get up there and sing. I sang Abilene, which was like racing up the chart at that time, and did hit number one. But I just was honored to get to be on stage and perform in front of everybody and let them hear my music and hear me sing. And so I was genuinely shocked to win. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. But it was an honor. It's really cool to
Yeah,
be recognized.
the awards is such a cool experience anyway, even if you're not, involved in any way or nominated or performing. Like, I feel like there's steps to that, and the more steps you have, the bigger honor it is. But like, just being there and networking and getting to talk and see people that you don't get to see because you're performing on the same nights when you're out on the road, and so like hanging out is really cool as well. Man, I got to tell you, on this show, we've 540 something artists now have been on the show,
Wow.
and it's so funny in an ironic sense how many military brats we end up on the show. I think
Okay,
there's a
cool.
correlation between that and becoming a touring artist. And we have another one here with Tori. Tori, correct me if I'm wrong. You were born in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, right?
That's right.
And Dad was in the military, so you moved around a lot, but ended up settling in Azle, right, in Texas.
That's right. We ended up living out there the longest once he retired. But yeah, I was Air Force brat, lived all over. And I always say, like, I do kind of feel like it prepares you for this life a
It
little bit because
does.
you're constantly on the go, you're on the road, be ready. Everything, every day is not the same. But yeah, I kind of have like that routine in the same regard. I like things in order.
Yeah, I think it's like I said, it's really ironic. A lot of artists on the show either came from other artists or musicians of somebody in the business, or came from the military. I think there is a correlation, and you're right. There is a preparation as well. If that's the lifestyle you're living as a kid, what are some lessons that your mom and dad kind of bestowed upon you as a youngster?
Definitely that, like your name matters and you want to bring honor to your name and stay true to yourself, but also, like help the person behind you, just like salt of the earth, stay salt of the earth. And so that's something that I strive to be, like I don't ever want to be somebody who's full of themselves and forget the people that helped you along the way. I'm like, I just want to remain humble and true to myself and help
Sometimes you
others
got
do
to
that
slow
too.
yourself down to do that, huh?
Yeah, it's true. I'm like, you gotta stay to your roots. And I wrote "Lost in the Country" a little bit about that. If we were talking about that song, because I love to get off the grid, so to
Yeah.
speak, and like get lost in the country, literally. Like that's for me, like kind of like getting back to my roots. Like, okay, like I don't bring my cell phone, hanging out with horses and cows, and just getting out of literally anywhere that I have service.
Yeah.
And then listening to country music. So like I get lost in the literal country, but also lost in country music. So that is something that like humbles me. keeps me grounded,
Yep.
and then my faith also keeps me grounded too.
It's just great stuff. And